He walked into his own dealership dressed like an average customer just to see how they treated people. They mocked him, ignored him, sent him to the pre-owned lot, until he made one phone call that changed everything. The showroom smelled of polished leather and fresh coffee. Soft jazz played from hidden speakers, blending with the quiet hum of conversations and the click of expensive shoes on marble floors. Jonathan Rhee stood near a sleek silver coupe, running a hand over its smooth curves. He wasn't in a rush. He had time. But the employees didn't seem to think he was worth any. A young salesman in a sharp navy suit glanced at him, taking in his simple polo and jeans with a barely concealed look of disinterest. He turned away, walking toward a couple stepping out of a luxury SUV. Jonathan exhaled through his nose. He'd seen this kind of behavior before. At first, it amused him. But as time passed and not a single employee acknowledged him, that amusement faded. He leaned against the car, watching as a man in a tailored suit walked in, adjusting the gold cufflinks on his crisp white shirt. Instantly, the sales team reacted. "Welcome, sir. What brings you in today? We have an excellent selection in our VIP showroom. Would you like a glass of champagne while we prepare a test drive?" The man chuckled, nodding as the employees scrambled to assist him. Jonathan folded his arms. It wasn't the service that bothered him. It was the contrast. 30 minutes. That's how long he'd been standing there, watching, waiting. Finally, he decided to test something. He stepped toward the reception desk with a polite smile. "Excuse me?" The receptionist, a woman in her late 20s with perfectly straightened hair and a detached expression, barely glanced at him. "Sales reps are busy," she said flatly. "You can wait outside if you're just looking." Jonathan tilted his head. "Outside?" She tapped at her keyboard, uninterested. "Yes, sir. We try to keep the showroom clear for serious buyers. We can schedule an appointment if you're actually interested in purchasing." Her words weren't just dismissive, they were judgmental. Jonathan's grip tightened on the edge of the desk. His patience was long, but this was getting ridiculous. Before he could respond, another salesman stepped up, older, with salt and pepper hair. His name tag read Ron. He didn't smile, didn't offer a greeting. "Sir, this dealership caters to a certain clientele." His eyes traveled down to Jonathan's scuffed sneakers before meeting his gaze again. "Are you sure you're in the right place?" Jonathan held his stare. "Are you?" A flicker of irritation crossed Ron's face before he forced a tight-lipped smile. "Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at our pre-owned lot. We have excellent financing options if that's a concern." Jonathan let the insult settle between them. He could feel the attention of other employees now, not because they wanted to help, but because they wanted him gone. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was deliberate. He nodded slowly, as if considering their words. Then he pulled out his phone, scrolled through his contacts, and made a call. It rang twice before a deep voice answered, "I need you here, now." Jonathan ended the call and slipped his phone back into his pocket. The employees had no idea who they'd just dismissed, but they were about to find out. Jonathan Rhee wasn't just any customer. He was the owner of this dealership. He had built this empire with one simple rule: treat every customer the same, whether they drive a Bentley or a busted Honda. That wasn't the first time he'd tested his employees. He made a habit of visiting his dealerships unannounced, always as a customer, because anyone could put on a show for the boss. What mattered was how they acted when they thought no one was watching. And right now, they were failing that test. Jonathan stood near the reception desk, still ignored. He thought about how many other people had walked in and been treated like this. How many potential customers had been pushed away because they didn't look the part. Then, the glass doors swung open. A sleek black Rolls-Royce Phantom pulled up outside. The valet rushed forward as a tall man in a charcoal suit stepped out, adjusting his cufflinks before pushing through the doors. The showroom fell silent. Every employee straightened, smoothing their suits, adjusting their ties. Ron, the salesman who had dismissed Jonathan, stiffened. The suited man walked with purpose, then locked eyes with Jonathan and smiled. The employees watched in confusion as he crossed the showroom, not toward the well-dressed customer they'd been doting on, but straight to Jonathan. "Sir," he said respectfully, "apologies for the delay." Jonathan nodded as if nothing was unusual. But the employees? They looked like they'd seen a ghost. Ron took a nervous step forward. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met." The suited man turned toward him, his face unreadable. "I'm David Langford, regional manager, and I believe you're the one I'm here to see." The energy in the room shifted. Ron's face went pale. The other employees froze, eyes darting between Jonathan and David, trying to piece together what was happening. Jonathan let the silence stretch before finally speaking. "So, tell me, is this how we treat people here?" The weight of those words hit like a hammer. The staff stumbled over themselves, trying to explain. "Sir, we didn't realize..." But there was no misunderstanding. The damage was done. David turned to the staff, his voice cold. "Effective immediately. Everyone involved in today's incident is terminated." The words landed like a punch. Ron's mouth fell open. "Wait, you can't..." "This is not up for discussion," David cut in. "We don't run our business like this." Jonathan looked around at the employees who had judged him so quickly. Then, in a voice quiet yet firm, he said, "Respect doesn't cost a damn thing." He let the words sink in before adding, "And if you only respect wealth when you can see it, then you don't respect people at all." Jonathan stepped outside, the warm afternoon air washing over him. The dealership behind him was in chaos, but it wasn't his problem anymore. A valet rushed forward. "Sir, can I get your car for you?" Jonathan glanced at him. Unlike the others, this young man had done his job without bias. He pulled a $100 bill from his pocket. "You handled yourself well today." The valet hesitated before taking it. "Thank you, sir. I just treat everyone the same." Jonathan smiled faintly. "That's exactly why you'll go far." A black Mercedes Maybach pulled up, and his driver stepped out. Jonathan slid into the back seat, looking once more at the dealership. Some lessons are learned the easy way. Others, they come at a cost. If you believe respect should be given to everyone, drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced something like this? Share your story. And if you love stories like this, hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon for more. This is the Story Hub, where the best lessons come from real moments like these.